Hello everyone, Argsy here. Welcome back to the Canadian Cattle Farmer here in Chilliwack, British Columbia. We are just getting through getting all our cattle fed. It's been a bit of a laborious process, but it's actually gone pretty well. We've got the truck up and running as well as using the feed mixer here. So we've just got the couple of bales of hay and a couple of bales of straw, which we're just going to battle to get in here. Almost need just a little bit more reach on this wheel loader, but pretty close. Drop those in. There we go. That's perfect. So we'll let that all top up there and process. Now we're going to have to go take this off. We've had to obviously break into our grass silage there. But we're also having to use the maize silage straight out of the bags from our silage bagging we did last time. Purely because there's no maize silage processed in the harvest store. So fortunately we can get straight into those and get them done. Now you'll see next to me just here we have gone and purchased the water and molasses silo and a little loading station there. So we can go in and fill that up by the water and molasses and top up any mix that we want to with some extra product, which is quite handy. Now we're just going to get pulled in here. We'll get some grass silage put in, and that'll be pretty much the last of the cattle here fed. We've done, well, the truck's done the 3 pens on the far side, and we've done the 3 pens on this side with this loader, or with this feed mixer. Unfortunately, when I recorded the course for doing this all automated, the truck only unloads on the left hand side, and I recorded the course for a right hand unload, so it works well with the wagon but not so much with the truck. That's right, when we are doubling around and moving around a lot like this, it actually worked out alright, so it will do. Right, we just need a little bit more. We'll pick up a little bit more maize silage. What do we need? Oh, we've still got quite a bit more we can put into this, 48,000 of 64, so we'll grab a whole lot. These bags are great. I think I said last time, there you go, you just drive in with the wheel loader and you can see that we're starting to get it loaded up. You can see it filling up in the bottom right corner. So very, very good. I did bump this one and it did get a little bit of out of alignment, but other than that, working perfectly. And a good way to get the maize silage stored and increase our capacity without having to buy another harvester or something like that. Much more affordable. Right, so we'll get this done. We'll get the rest of the animals fed. We do have to take a load down to the Swiss Browns over in, well, over that way, over where we were harvesting the maize. They're going to need some food, so we'll get a load mixed up as well in the truck and send that over there on auto drive. And then we'll be able to get into some actual work. It's already getting a bit on in the afternoon, 4:20 p.m. But we are going to get in, spread some slurry. We're going to try and get some plowing and some cultivating underway today, because come 1st of July, which will be the next in-game day, this grass is all going to be ready to harvest, and we'll be in there getting some hay made, because we are chewing through our hay stocks pretty quickly with all this feeding and everything like that. So that is the plan of attack. So we'll get this load here. I'll just leave that parked up there for now. We'll get this taken over to the animals and we'll get them fed. Right, so there we are. You can see that is unloading and going down there. So we'll let that one running. We'll jump here into the truck, which is basically what I've been doing, jumping back and forth between the two to get these done. And we'll go and get this truck topped up so we can take another load down to the other animals. Now, just while we're talking, we've had a few developments around our free stall. Legacy Agricultural Corporation and Schultz Modding Corporation have got together, and we have come up with a solution to get our feedlot to work and produce milk so that we can keep our dairy cows in there and still get some milk production out of them. So we will see the free stall is going to be built sometime soon. It'd be nice to actually get a little bit more money before we do that, so we'll just have to keep an eye on when it's best time to sell some crops. But we are definitely going to be able to make the most of that free stall and get that all built and running over here like I had planned. So that's going to be exciting. So we'll keep an eye out for that, probably in a couple of episodes. But anyhow, we'll get this loaded up and then we'll get moved on to the next tasks. So there we are, last 2 bales going in there, so that should leave us. We'll just watch this come up with a mix. Hopefully we've got the ratios right. Sometimes do just need a little bit extra because the straw goes a little bit over. In fact it has. We've got 21% straw. Is the alfalfa going to balance it out? Just perfect. So we have ended up with the ideal mix. In fact, we've ended up with exactly the same amount in both mixes, 25,008 litres. So that's perfect. Right, we'll get this moving. I'm going to turn it on and hopefully get it turning. One thing this truck doesn't like with the weight, in fact we'll see if we can back it up and go this way, because then we can set it up on auto drive and send it on over to the other dairy cows. Alright, there we go. Get that turned enough and we'll send that off on its way. Alright, and there we go. Truck is off and moving, and should go and get those other cows all fed. Looks like the other one's finished as well, so we'll get the loader out of the way. We'll go and get the other tractor out of the way, and then we'll have a quick look at how our animal health is across the board. So just taking a look down the ladder here, so the brown Swiss is where the truck's just off to. They need a little bit of food, but other than that, they are all good, healthy, and getting towards some reproduction, which is good. Holsteins there, they've got a decent amount of food, got some milk to sell as well. Then we're going through the feedlot, you can see there 91,000 litres, 69, 74. Back to the other Holsteins, 51,000, and again some more milk. And then we've got the limousines down there, 53, 57, and 63. So plenty of food for all of them, so that should keep them going well. And in fact, obviously getting closer to puberty and all that sort of thing, which is good. They'll start to make us some money, as we had hoped, off this feedlot, get them fattened up and turn into something a little bit more valuable, which is the ideal aim. Right, moving on, we are going to go and get the plough set up, and we're also going to go and get the slurry spreader, because we're going to go and get some slurry applied to some fields, and then, in fact, that's all ready to go. That's on the back of the New Holland. So we'll go and grab the plough. If we can get a little bit of slurry spread first, we'll be able to plough along behind while that is being spread, and then hopefully move on to the other field and just stay ahead of the game. So we'll get everything set up, and then we'll get into it. So we've got the plough hooked up to the Versatile that is over there in the field, you can see. We've just got the spreader here. Now I was going to go and top it up first, but when we've already got 20,000 litres in here, we may as well go and make a start. Now we need to get a fair way around the field, actually, because I've decided to set the plough up on diagonal rows, and also to start in the centre of the field, as you normally would. Obviously leave the headlands and edges of the field to do last. So we'll just have to wait and see how we're going to go with that. Now I'm also going to change our application rate, take it off auto, and we will go and tweak that just to make it a bit of a custom rate and see how that works out for us. Alright, so I've set that to a blanket application rate of 20 cubic meters per hectare, so we're just going to see how that goes for us. I think that should be enough just to take the edge off, just to apply a little bit to it, and then we can come through and pick up the actual required levels of nitrogen that are needed when we do our seeding. So this will just be a nice little boost to things here on the field, and hopefully it'll mean we can go a little bit further with the nitrogen as well, with the slurry, so that we don't have to run back and forth filling up quite so much as we might have had to otherwise. I'm just going to, while we're going along here, I thought I'd set my cruise control, but we hadn't. We're also set at a low speed. So here we are. So we're just going to turn our GPS on, get a track set up here for this. Along this edge of the field is probably as good a spot as any. That should be far enough to get our A and B point. We'll set our width and turn on our lines. There we go. That is all up and working, which is perfect. And you can see down there on the mini-map that our nitrogen levels are going up slightly, getting into that yellow. Still not green, but again, like I said, we don't know exactly what crop we're going to be putting on here. So yellow's good, and we can top that up and pick it up the rest with the seeder when it comes time to it. So I think this all seems to be going pretty well. Good way to start. We might just jump into a little bit of a time lapse here while we spread some slurry, get this field started, and we'll turn the tractor on very soon to get some ploughing done at the same time. So we'll get that sorted and see you in just a little bit. So I wanted to go a bit further over the field than I probably had thought to start with, because I recalled when I set up course play on this tractor we were doing skip rows, so I wanted to make sure that everything was open up enough and we'd done enough coverage that it wouldn't have an issue. So we're just going to jump up into here, turn things on, and we're going to send it to start at first waypoint, which is actually right over in the far corner. So hopefully by the time we've been down with the slurry spreader, and there we are, set to first waypoint. So we're just going to press that go. It's going to fold itself up as they always do because of the setting we have, but they're going to drive off hopefully down to the other end of the field. There they go, and go make a start on the rows. So hopefully by the time we've gone and topped this up, I think there's only about 20,000 or 25,000 litres of slurry left down in that barn that we've been pulling it from. So by the time we've done that, hopefully we'll get back here and they will have started, and we'll make sure everything's up and working properly. And in the meantime, we'll have enough slurry to get that field finished, and then we're actually going to move into this big one here, which is going to facilitate driving a bit further to get the slurry. I'm not going to draw out of our big slurry tank or anything yet. I want to try and get it all out of the different cow barns that we've got around the place. Just with the plan now to get that freestall back up and running, then we will be looking to offload some of this land very soon, I expect. So get down here, we'll carry on and get the last of the slurry spread. Right, so it looks like the plough's underway. You can see it's managed to do one pass. Now I've got this set to a 10-degree angle to the edge of the field, obviously wanting to try and cut across the ridges that would have been created from the corn when it was planted and everything like that. So we're just trying to level that field out a little bit more, make it a little bit more comfortable when it comes time to plant. So that should work out pretty well, and we're definitely going to be far enough ahead of them that they're not going to catch up too quickly, and we're going to have enough slurry here. I think there's probably only about 3 passes left. Looking at the map and looking at how close we are to the headland, so we should get this one done and covered off pretty easily. But there we go, that's all set up and looks to be working perfectly. It'd be nice to get this field ploughed, and we'll be able to then move into the next one, which is significantly larger. I'll just have a look in the mini map. I said mini map, but I mean the main map. You can have a look there. 133 and 134 combined are probably 3 times the size of this. So we're certainly we've used about 100,000 litres of slurry on this one, so we're certainly going to need all the slurry we can pull out of the cows down here at field 203, and probably some out of here at 195. I'll see, we might even spread some slurry on this field. I've been thinking about it more and more. Maybe we might sell this one to start with and keep these, because I think with the map update, our clover, you can see there and there, should start growing soon. So we'll see. That's a dynamic situation. We'll see what's going to be best for us. Anyhow, let's carry on, get this field finished, and move into the next one. First field fully spread with slurry, so we can turn that off there, and we've still got 7,000 litres in the back of this, so we might as well just scoot straight across into the field next door and make a start in there, get a little bit done. See, the plough there is making a good start. Those rows that are skipping are good, and we've actually got quite a good angle there on the multi-terrain angle with the texture. That looks pretty impressive actually, seeing those rows going off in the distance like that, so that's pretty cool. Now we should be able to, not that I'll be able to do it the first time around, but if we just start running along this edge, I might just go up and down it, we'll see how far we get, but we should be able to, when we get into this field proper, either use the same GPS course in the direction we're heading now, or we'll set a fresh one up and go across the field in the long direction, but either or doesn't really matter too much. But there we go, straight from one into another, which makes it very nice and efficient for us. Now in terms of crops and thinking forward, we're certainly going to have to plant some more corn, get some more maize into the ground, and we're going to have to plant some more wheat, barley, oats, or something along those lines, because we obviously want to make the most of having some straw, getting some straw to be able to pad out our TMR mix, which is working out pretty well at the moment, helping extend the distance that the silage and hay and everything else will go by using that straw as a bit of a filler. So very, very good to have that, and certainly something we'll have to consider. But we're not actually going to get the full way along here, which is fine. We'll get this emptied out, and we'll go down to another one of the cow barns, and pick up some more slurry. There we go. All done. Right, I think we'll head to the one just down over the train tracks. That is the next closest, and we'll just carry on getting things done here. Getting down to our last 10,000 litres of slurry that we have out of our cow barns. We've managed to extract it all out, 100,000 litres out of both the barns down on the bottom edge of the map, or over that way, one over the train tracks and the ones that over there. Of course we used pretty much the full 100,000 litres of the barn just down the road in the first field. So we're getting there. We're probably a bit over halfway across the field, I'd say. Just having a look back there and see we've got that much more to do, and we've been that far, so it's gone pretty well. We've got further than I thought we might have, but I'd say we probably still need at least another 100,000 litres. And I'm trying to decide whether we go and try and extract some out of the feedlot over the road, or whether we leave that for putting on the grass fields there around the yard. Obviously we've got the big slurry pit, but I haven't quite got that up and functioning properly yet. It's a little bit too far away from all of the feedlots to be able to get all of the slurry in there, so I just need to have a little bit more of a play around with getting that set up. So maybe go have a look. Go and see if we can extract some slurry out of there, I think, because it'll be good to get it all finished in here. Now the plough is all done. It does have a little bit of tidying up I need to go and do manually around corners and things like that, just to get rid of all that ploughed requirement. So we will go and do that, and then I think we will get into this field and get this one all cultivated with one of the speed tills or the big disc cultivator that we've got, one or the other. Get that up in here and running. So that is the plan. So we'll finish this off and we'll go over and see if we can get some more slurry. So we're just going to leave the slurry spreader there. We've had a look around. We can't actually get the slurry, one, out of the tank because we need the pump that we need to back up the track there and by the gate and be able to pump out of the slurry tank. So we need to obtain that. And two, I can't actually locate any triggers here for the feedlots. Now I think with the update to these, which was recently made, there's a new system of how to extract the slurry out of these. If we just have a look in the animal screen, you can see there's 50,000 litres of slurry, 84, 37. So all of the animals do have slurry in the pits or in their pens. So we just need to figure out how to get those out at some stage. But I think we might make use of that when we can spread it onto the grass. You have to remember we've got the field down the end there that we can work on at some stage. So I think we are just going to go get things set up, and we might go and do a little bit of cultivating, or at least get things set up. It is late, it's getting later in the evening, so that might be something we do next episode. While we're getting the grass mown, we might be able to run the tractor here with the cultivator on it. So we'll just pull back in here, park up, leave that hooked up there to the speed till, and then we might just head over, go and grab the versatile and finish off the ploughing in that field to tidy up the few loose ends around the corners. There we are, just to get these corners all tidied up. We've done all the other ones, and just have this last little piece here. We'll get in there, plough to the edge, and there it is, all done. So we'll get that folded up, and we'll be able to head on back over to the yard, and we'll get things parked up. Now we do have that other field to take care of course, which we'll take the tractor down to probably in the next episode, and the next day, and leave them down there running and doing that. So today we've managed to get animals fed, slurry spread, and a field ploughed, and we're all set up to get in and get another field cultivated, and hopefully, all going to plan, grass is going to be nice and long and ready to be mown in the morning. So that'll be good. We'll be able to get in here and hopefully, looking at the potential harvest yield there, 433,000 off field 147, and 148 is 292,000, so 700,000 litres of hay. That'll be fantastic to have because we are chewing through it. The good thing is we don't use quite as much hay as we do silage, so I think that'll give us probably half the amount of hay that we do to have to silage and maize silage. That should work out pretty well for our feed mixes, but we're going to get in and do that. The other thing I'm actually going to do is we're actually going to try and buy a Heston baler or a square baler of some description and bale these up as squares, because I think it's going to work a little bit better for our storage, and slightly bigger bales too. We can get bigger bales, so we can therefore not have to put quite so many in when it comes time to mixing up our feed mix. Anyhow, that is the plan. Tune in next time and you'll hopefully see it all come to fruition. But for me, for now, thank you all very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this episode, and we'll catch you in the next one.